There are many things that can make a dog sad, but nothing compares with being left behind by its family. This is exactly what happened to an adorable pit bull named Blue that was abandoned at a high-kill animal shelter. Blue was so sad that his beloved family abandoned him that he started crying, and this broke everyone's hearts. Luckily, someone decided to wipe his tears away. This sad doggy is Blue. He was abandoned at a high-kill animal rescue by his family and things were not looking good for him. You won't believe what can happen to Blue if no one adopts him. The poor doggy was abandoned at a high-kill shelter, and if no one adopts him, he would have to be put off. The way Blue cries after his family is heartbreaking. It's like he knows what could happen to him. Looking at this picture, we think it's safe to say that Blue is heartbroken. Although, who wouldn't be if their family just left them behind like this? The saddest thing about this is that the only thing that Blue did all day long was to wait for his family to come back. He would get excited whenever someone came in the shelter, but then start crying when he realized that it isn't his family. Blue was so sad that he didn't even want to eat. His food appetite was bad, and the shelter staff didn't know what to do with the sad dog. The next picture will break your heart. Despite being a high-kill shelter, the folks who worked there decided to try and give Blue a helping hand in finding a new family. Why do you think his family left him behind? The worst thing about Blue's story is that this family didn't even have a good reason to leave him behind. They wanted to move and simply didn't want to take him with them. Isn't this just cruel? But as you're about to find out, Blue gets his happy ending. As you can clearly see, Blue is super sad and he doesn't want to do anything else than to leave the shelter. This is when the shelter staff decided to help him out, and so they did. What happens next is amazing. The staff posted a couple pictures of Blue over social media in hopes that someone will see them and want to take Blue in. Fortunately, Jennifer McKay saw those pictures and decided to pay the pup a visit. Jennifer McKay came to visit Blue, and she instantly knew that she had to help him out. Keep reading to see what Jennifer had to say about the bond she felt when she met Blue. You could tell that every time someone walked by, it was like he was looking for his family. It's like he knew he had been left there, said Jennifer. Holding Blue's paw, Jennifer felt a strong bond and she decided to do something truly amazing. Jennifer McKay didn't waste any time and she immediately knew that she needs to adopt Blue. Her house had room for a cute pit bull like Blue and she decided to take him in. The next picture will bring a smile on your face. Blue finally had someone to love him. After spending so much time crying in the shelter cage, he was finally free. Just look at his big smile, isn't it amazing? Jennifer McKay says that Blue started acting like a new dog after she took him home. He was not sad anymore and his food appetite was better than ever. The best thing about saving Blue was seeing the doggy smile instead of crying all day long. Jennifer McKay knew she did the right thing and that Blue is now her best friend. This picture shows us how Blue refused to eat any type of food, but luckily, the pooch is now trying to forget all about his time at the shelter and trying to enjoy his new life instead. Blue was no longer stuck in a tight, small steel cage and he was free to do whatever he wanted. Blue is super lucky for meeting Jennifer because she saved his life. What's really amazing is that Jennifer McKay says Blue has completely forgotten about his time at the shelter and about the family that abandoned him. The upcoming pictures will prove that to you. This is how a dog should live his life. Having fun out in the park is what they need to do, not to be stuck behind a steel door. Truth be told, Blue is a lucky dog. Not all shelter dogs are fortunate enough to meet people like Jennifer McKay who will take them in, and this makes Blue special. Let's hope families stop abandoning their pets, especially when they don't have a good reason to do that.
This story was really incredible, but you will like the next one more.
This owner's reaction to watching her dog walk for the first time after therapy. Two stray dogs named Kala and Kira were up for adoption, but sadly, no one wanted to take them in. The poor dogs had no one and the shelter couldn't keep them any longer because they didn't have enough space. However, someone took a picture of the two dogs hugging each other on their last day and the picture went viral. What happens next will leave you in awe. Stray dogs have it the worst. They don't have anyone to care for them, and living on the streets is not an easy task, especially when it comes to finding food. Luckily, some shelters save them and help them find adoptive families. Even though rescuers save stray dogs, going to the shelter is not always a good thing. The reason we are saying this is because they are kept in cages until they find an adoptive family, but that is super difficult. Keep reading to find out why. Even though there might be many people who want to get dogs, most of them choose to purchase them from pet stores. This leaves the shelters with hundreds of dogs to take care of. The sad part about dogs who live in shelters is that the cages can get overcrowded and older dogs get put away. As heartbreaking as this is, nearly all shelters do it, and this is why people should start adopting pets instead of buying them. Kala and Kira's story is heartbreaking, but don't worry, it has a happy ending. Read along. These two are Kala and Kira, and this is the picture that went viral. Someone took a picture of them and posted it on Snapchat with the caption, "I'm Kala. This is Kira. We're so scared in here." The people working in the shelter see how scared we are, but just told each other that today is our deadline. Then, something amazing happened. As the picture of Kala and Kira went viral, someone saw their pain and decided to adopt them, but it's not the man in the picture. Keep reading to find out who chose to save Kala and Kira. Two women from Atlanta saw the viral picture and realized that they need to do something about it. Therefore, the two women called the shelter and said that they are going to adopt Kala and Kira. Isn't this amazing? After taking them home, Kala and Kira had someone to love them. After spending so much time living on the streets, the two dogs finally had a loving home. I think it's safe to say that Kala and Kira deserve this. Kala and Kira were used to living in fear, but everything changed now that they have been adopted. The two Atlanta women are lifesavers, and there's no doubt about that. Isn't it amazing what a picture can do? If no one took a picture of the two dogs hugging it out on their last day at the shelter, then this story wouldn't have such a happy ending. That's why it's important to remember this important thing. If there's something we take from this story, then it must be that people who are interested in getting a pet should try and adopt instead of going to the pet store. In fact, let's check out some before and after pictures of adopted dogs and see how a little bit of love changes their lives. The first picture makes it seem like the dogs used to be cellmates. However, everything changed for the better once they were adopted. The next picture will make you smile. Just look at how much a little bit of love and affection can change a dog's life. This is a prime example of why dogs who get sent to the shelter need to be saved as soon as possible. What better way to cool off during a hot summer day other than to chill out in the pool? This happy dog knows how to spend his afternoons. The following picture will break your heart. Isn't it incredible how big is the difference between the first and the second picture? This doggy went from a sad, crying pup to being filled with life and joy. This pup's name is Frank the Tank, and as we can clearly see, everything changed once Frank was adopted. The next picture will show you why there are so many dogs in shelter houses. Many people purchase dogs and after a couple of days decide that they don't like having a dog around the house. This is how most dogs end up on the streets and why shelters are so overcrowded. I wonder what this doggy is dreaming about. I bet that it has something to do with chasing cats and eating delicious treats. Taking the dog away from the shelter is one of the most incredible things ever. Just look at how happy this got on his ride home. Looking at these before and after pictures, I think it's safe to say that adopting a dog is going to change their lives for the better. Not just that, but dogs will also bring joy in their new adoptive parents' life.